Hey everyone, welcome back to my Pod. Today we are going to decode something that's the heart of programming in C Sharp. Yes, I'm talking about data types. Whether you're new to coding or a seasoned programmer, understanding data types is crucial because it helps you to handle information effectively and also it avoid common bugs. Correct. In C Sharp, data types falls into two main categories: value types and reference types. If you're wondering what's the difference, don't worry. We'll break it down so you know exactly when to use each one. Let's get started. So, in C Sharp, every variable you declare is either a value types or a reference type. Think of this like a two storage method for your data. If you ever had two types of storage in your real life, say a drawer for your quick access items and the storage locker for bulkier stuffs, it's a similar concept. These value types are like your quick access items. They store the actual data right where you declare them. These reference types are like your storage locker. They store the reference or a pointer where the data actually lives in the memory. That means you're not holding the data directly, you're holding the directions to find it. Now that we know what they are, let's dig deeper into each category, starting with value types. Alright, let's start with value types. These are the go-to types when you need to store a simple data that fits into one neat little box or a memory location. The key characteristics of the value type is that they store the actual data directly in memory. That means if you copy a value type to another variable, it makes a complete copy of data. Because of this, the value types are fast to access and handle straightforward data. Uh, they're commonly used for these numbers, characters, and the booleans, the basic building blocks. Let's start with the integer types. These are the data types you use when you're working with the whole numbers like counting items, tracking IDs, or managing any quantity that does not need decimals. In C Sharp, the most common integer type is int. It's a 32-bit data type that covers most general needs. But if you need a smaller or larger ranges, you can use short, long, or byte. Here is a quick example to see integer variables in action. I have declared the integer variable age and assigned the value 24. In the same way, short variable distance and I have assigned the value 300. And the long variable stars in galaxy and I have assigned this large value to it. The last one, the byte variable light years and I have assigned 20. I am printing it using this console.writeLine. Let me run this code. Yes, here you can see in the output age, distance, stars and light years. For numbers with decimals, we have got a floating point types. This is where float and doubles comes in handy. The float type is single precision, means 32 bits, while the double is double precision, means 64 bits, meaning it can handle more decimal places. In general, go with double if you need high accuracy, like when you're working with scientific measurements or distance. Here is an example. I have declared a float variable temperature and I have assigned a decimal value to it. This suffix f indicates it's a float. And I have declared this double variable distance and I have assigned a large value using this scientific notation. And then I am printing it using this console.writeLine. Let me run this code. See, here you can see the temperature and also this distance value. When it comes to financial calculation, accuracy is critical. That's where this decimal types comes in. It's a high precision 128-bit types. It's perfect for dealing with money, currency conversions, and other sensitive calculations. Let's see how to declare this decimal type with an example. Here, I have declared a decimal variable balance and I have assigned a value to it. Here the suffix m indicates it's a decimal and I am printing this balance using this console.writeLine. Let me run this code. Yes, here you can see the output balance 1000.75. For simple data we have bool and char. The bool type only takes true or false values and it is ideal for decision making in code. And the char type is used for single characters and it is perfect for individual letters, symbols, or punctuation. Let's see how to declare boolean and character types. Here, I have declared this boolean variable is raining and have assigned false to it. And then have declared this character variable grade and have assigned h within single quotes to it. And then I am printing this console dot write line and here I am printing is it raining and this value and grade. Let me run this code. See, here in the output you can see it's raining false and the grade h. Now let's talk about reference type. Unlike value types, reference type stores the references or a memory address to where the data actually lives. In other words, the variables holds directions on where to find data rather than the data itself. Reference types gives more flexibility, but it comes with extra memory management. Let's look at some common reference types in C sharp. String type. The string type is super popular because it's perfect for working with text like names, sentences, or paragraph. One important thing about this string is that they are immutable, meaning once you create a string, its value cannot change in memory. If you want to modify it, C Sharp will actually create a new string in a memory. Then and the next one is object type. The object type is a base type for all the data types in C sharp. So you can store any data type in an object, but to use it fully, you need to cast it back to its original type. Think it of it as a like a universal container or a catch-all type. And the last one is dynamic type. Dynamic type is very similar to object type, but with one big difference. Dynamic resolves its type at runtime. So if you're not sure about what type you're dealing with, dynamic can be handy, but be careful. Without compile time checks, it's easier to run into runtime errors. Now, let's see how to declare reference type. Here, I have declared this string variable greeting, then I have assigned text to it. In the next line, I am printing it using this console.write line. And next, I have declared this object variable data and I have assigned this integer value to it. In the next line, I am printing it using this console.writeLine. And the next one is dynamic variable. Here I have declared this dynamic variable. First, I have assigned this string value to this variable. Then again, I am reassigning this integer value to this variable and I am printing it. Let me run this code. See here you can see hello C sharp world and for this object type and here you can see this dynamic variable it is printing it as 25 because it is taking the current value. Now let's recap what we covered. We talked about value type which stores data directly in memory and are best for simple data types like integer, floats, boolean and characters. Then we dive into reference type which stores references or pointers to data in memory, giving you more flexibility for complex data handling. Understanding the difference between these two is essential because it helps you to use memory efficiently and avoid unexpected bugs. Next time, when you declare this variable, you'll be knowing exactly what's happening under the hood. That's a wrap for today's session. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and if you found this video helpful, drop your questions in the comments below. And happy coding! Have a great day.